Hi, I'm going to discuss the technology integration matrix. TIM observations are starting soon, so I would like you to be familiar with the matrix, the observation process, and what to expect. Let's look at the matrix. The matrix is made of two parts. Across the top are the levels of technology integration, starting at entry and ending with transformation. With the TIM, we emphasize that entry or adoption levels are often appropriate when introducing a new unit or technology before the lessons are conducted at the higher levels. Down the left hand side, you have the characteristics of the learning environment. And any certified teacher is already familiar with these characteristics and the pedagogical concepts embedded within them: active learning, collaborative learning, constructive learning, authentic learning, and goal directed learning. Let's take a closer look. Within the 5 levels of technology integration, you have entry level, where the teacher begins to use tech tools to deliver curriculum content to students. This is when the teacher is using technology mainly to do drill and skill with the students. In adoption, teachers direct students in the conventional and procedural use of tech tools. So this would be like giving them a template in Google Slides for them to do a project on. Adaptation, the teacher facilitates students in exploring and independently using tech tools. This would be telling them to do a project, but not telling them what technology medium to use to complete the project in. So they could use Prezi, they could use slides, they could use Canva, PowerPoint, so on and so on. With Infusion, the teacher provides learning context and students choose the tech tools. So this one would be the teacher giving them choices to pick from what kind of project they want to do with technology and the student having complete control over the tool. And with transformation, the teacher encourages innovative use of tech tools to facilitate higher order learning activities that are not possible without the use of tech tools. So this would be like, instead of having them do a slide deck, maybe they do a 60-second documentary or a podcast. So they're transforming their learning by doing higher order practices that would not be able to be done without the technology. Let's look closer at the 5 characteristics of meaningful learning environments. In active learning, students discover, process, and apply their learning instead of passively receiving knowledge. Engagement is key. In collaborative learning, we want to know, is the tech used to facilitate, enable, or enhance student opportunities to work with peers and outside experts? With constructive learning, the learner centered instruction allows students to use tech tools to connect new learning to prior knowledge. Tech use is flexible and personalized. That's one of the APS 5. Authentic learning. Use tech to link learning to beyond the classroom. It also places learning into a meaningful context. It increases relevance to the learner and taps into the student's intrinsic motivation. And finally, goal directed learning. Tech is used to set goals, plan activities, monitor progress, and evaluate results. Tech facilitates, enables, or supports meaningful reflection and metacognition. So let's take a look at what each of these levels look like for each characteristic. And to do that, I'm going to call on my friends at Hogwarts. Let's look at the active characteristics and levels of integration as Hogwarts professors. So active level entry would be like Dolores Umbridge. Little active engagement by students due to her mean spirit and lack of teaching necessary information. Active adoption would be similar to Professor McGonagall. Stern and by the book, McGonagall was clear in her explicit and conventional methods for teaching transfiguration. With adaptive adaptation, that's like Professor Sprout, kind and engaging. Sprout exposed students to information and then allowed for choice and exploration. Active infusion is like Professor Trelawney. True seer, Trelawney knew the tools to teach and then took a step back for student directed choice and use of the tools. And our active transformation is none other than Professor Dumbledore, an exceptional teacher. Dumbledore extensively prepared students with the tools to use for any situation, conventional or not. Let's look at the next characteristic, the collaborative characteristic and levels of integration as told by Harry Potter characters. Collaborative entry. Hermione Granger. Practical and independent, trying to help her friends only slowed Hermione down. She thrived most when she was working on her own. Collaborative adoption is our friend Harry Potter. For all the natural talent Harry had, he sure needed a lot of help from his friends to stay alive, even when using magic. Collaborative adaptation. Ron Weasley. A team player, Ron was always right next to Harry to help him out with a better magic choice than Harry made. Next is Ginny Weasley for collaborative infusion. Ginny knew what tools she had to use and chose the best times and situations in which to use them. And then finally, for collaborative transformation, is none other than Luna Lovegood. Anything but normal, Luna reaches others and uses magic in unconventional ways with everyone she meets. Let's look at the next characteristic, constructive learning. Back to professors. So in the constructive entry level, that would be like Gilderoy Lockhart. If Lockhart taught, the lesson came from one of his books. Very little hands-on experience with the dark arts. Constructive adoption would be Severus Snape. With the potency of some potions, it was crucial for Snape to guide students in their study of potions. Constructive adaptation, Madam Hooch. Flying a broom is an independent task. Hooch gave pointers and then student choice took over. Professor Flitwick is our constructive infusion example. Teaching spells and charms requires lots of practice for the spell of choice to be successful. Experience is key. And for constructive transformation, our friend Hagrid. Hagrid was anything but conventional in all he did. However, the gang always learned a lesson from their experiences with him. Let's look at the levels of authentic characteristic and integration as Hogwarts classes. Our authentic entry example was the study of ancient runes, learning to decode an ancient wizarding language that isn't used at the present time. Authentic adoption is herbology, learning the names and uses of magic and muggle plants. Students were guided for their safety from the dangerous plants. Authentic adaptation, potions. Snape ran a pretty tight ship in class, but students still explored with some choices. Authentic infusion, defense against the dark arts. The choice of your tool to defend yourself results in life or death. And authentic transformation, charms. Innovative in nature, spells are connected and useful in the wizarding world and crucial for safety and protection. Now let's look at the final level, goal-directed learning. At the entry level, goal-directed learning is like broom flying. Madam Hooch gave clear, precise instructions that students had to follow for their safety while she watched them learn how to fly on their broom. Goal-directed adoption would be like arithmancy, using explicit procedures to assign numerical values to words for use with divination. Leading us on to divination, which is our goal-directed adaptation class. Students must learn the rituals and tools to use to plan how they will gather insight into the future. For goal-directed infusion, we have Hagrid's course, The Care of Magical Creatures. Understanding what tools are available and work best for which creature is key. And finally, our goal-directed transformation course is Transfiguration. The art of changing form and appearance requires innovative thinking to plan and monitor during the process. So now that we've looked at all the levels of the TIM, let's see how the TIM connects to the APS 5. The TIM-O, the observation, and the TUPS, which is the Teacher Usage and Perception Survey that you'll take after Learning Experiences 1, 2, and 3 this year, provide data on teacher usage and perceptions of technology. It provides coaches data for support and collaboration with teachers. For curriculum and instruction, the TIM can be implemented with any curriculum and activity that is happening in the classroom. The TIM illustrates best practices with technology and examines rigor as well as equity in technology usage. For whole child, the TIM focuses on active learning and collaboration between students and their peers, as well as community experts. Personalized learning, the TIM focuses on authentic and goal-directed student-centered learning opportunities that infuse technology for students to construct knowledge in the modality that is most effective for each student. And finally, signature programs. The TIM focuses on student-centered learning, similar to district signature programs. The TIM O will help coaches address ways to infuse technology into the district signature program. Now let's talk about what to expect with the TIM O. I will come into your classroom and watch whatever you happen to be doing for 5 to 10 minutes. Do not feel like you have to stop your routine to do something fancy with technology. I will leave you with the yellow copy of the informal observation form with your glows and grows and next steps. Your TIM matrix results will be emailed to you at the end of your observation. Finally, when you get a chance, you will set up a time to meet with me for 10 to 15 minutes to go over the observation and your matrix results. I will leave you a postcard. Scan the QR code on the card or use the link in my email to schedule your time. So, what's going to happen at the post observation meeting? Well, I'll discuss your matrix results from the observation. Just a reminder, this is not a formal observation. It has no impact on your TEKS or anything else. It's just grant data. Next, I'll discuss some ideas with you on how you can level up on the matrix. This might include scheduling a coaching session with me for my support with the recommendations I give you. You'll have time to ask any questions you have for clarification or anything presented that's on your mind. And then don't forget to schedule a time to meet with me when you're ready for help to implement the suggestions or ideas. For more information on the TIM, check out mytechmatrix.org. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.